This week we are going to be focusing on creating support systems, and primarily in the college setting. This is one of my favorite topics to talk with you guys about because I feel that employing an interdependence and connecting with one another, whether it's at school, at home, at your workplace, just people that you're interacting with, they are there to support you and they can support you and help you achieve your goals. So let's dive right in. I'm going to give you guys some resources that we have here at Columbia College. There are many things out there for you to access, and so I'm going to show you how you can get there. One of the first things and places that you can go is our Canvas homepage. So if you click down on modules, you'll see here that we have these support services and resources. So this kind of discusses with you, tells you a little bit about the Academic Achievement Center, the library, counseling, disability special programs. If you click on each one of these tabs, software, academic integrity, browser support, if you click on each one of those tabs, it just gives you a quick list and how those can help you on campus. Another place you can go is the Columbia College website. So if you're looking for a specific place, you can type it up here in the search bar, you can scroll down. It has ways, it's even telling you right here, ways to get connected, student services, online learning, anything in general, this is where you're going to find it. Another good resource is the Columbia College Counseling webpage. So this is where you're going to want to go to figure out how to make a counseling appointment either in person or online. It tells you what to expect when you go in for your ed plan. It can, you can sit down with a counselor and just talk with them about educational counseling in general. So this is a great resource. I highly recommend that you meet with a counselor at least once a semester just to make sure you're on track and where you're supposed to be. Okay, the Columbia College Catalog. This is something that you use in this class, something that hopefully you're referring to when you've got questions. So to get there are a few ways. You can go to admissions up here. Whoops, admissions. Over here, course catalog, okay, or you can go to course programs over here, and it takes you right to the college catalog. All right, so something else that we offer are workshops on campus. So the easiest way to get here is just go up to the search bar, type in workshops, and these are called student success workshops. So as you'll see, these are the ones that we're offering this fall, and they're anything from getting involved in college to how to transfer to a UC, transfer fair, anything on here. Okay, so hopefully you guys are able to attend one of those. We do offer them different days, different times to try to accommodate. We know everyone is on different schedules. Okay, so let's go back to connections and how we can try and build those. So getting involved with resources, that's one way to get connected to people. It definitely can play a huge part in your student success, and not only just at school, but in life in general. If you actively are participating and you're networking and you're meeting people, it really can help you to achieve success. You never know when that instructor could lead you to a job opportunity or an internship, something like that. People here on campus are here to help you. Hopefully you have people within your lives that are here to support you. We all have those people who are good at pushing us when we need it, but maybe they're there for us when we need that break. Maybe it's an instructor who inspires you. Maybe it's a counselor who's helping you determine a major or a possible career, learning strengths about yourself. It could be that person sitting next to you. I use the example of I was a psychology major and I honestly was not enjoying the classes and I was having a hard time, and I thought, how am I ever going to do this? I was sitting next to a girl. I told her I wanted to go into counseling, and she said, why don't you consider sociology? That was a perfect fit. I switched my major, loved my classes, did so much better. So you never know. Talk to those people next to you. And if you're online, chime in. Someone may say something that sparks your interest, and just chime in, ask them questions. We're all pretty much here to help each other. So that's one way that you can keep yourself connected. If you're taking online classes or if you're taking classes on campus, it really is up to you to take ownership and find the resources that you need, especially at a commuter college. So Columbia is often thought of as a commuter campus. There aren't the big Greek organizations here. There aren't, some of the big events that go on at those huge universities. You may find that you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit and strike up a conversation, or as I mentioned, reaching out to a classmate online. Maybe they write something that piques your interest. So, for example, the Student Senate office has clubs on campus. Maybe you might want to just take a look and see if there's something that gets you excited or something that you're interested in. They have Child Development Future Educators Club, Debate Club, Auto Tech Club, just to name a few. So, you know, maybe, I know we have a basketball player in here, so maybe you might want to go to a claim jumper game. You should go, ask them questions. It's just a good way to get connected and to meet people. What else? So definitely take advantage of every opportunity that you can to engage. I know it can be challenging, but join a study group. Like I said, reach out to your online classmates. I know it's difficult because we don't see each other face to face on a regular basis, but you really can learn and meet people and have study groups. Meet up at Starbucks maybe when the final exam comes up, or anytime. You just should be as proactive as you can about reaching out for help, seeking assistance, getting questions answered, even if you're at a commuter school. There are still ways that you can connect. Okay, so now I want to talk about communicating with instructors and connecting with them. So you can contact them by looking at your syllabus. That's usually the most common way. There's also a faculty webpage. If you go to the main website, let's get back here. If you go to the main website, up at the top where it says faculty and staff, you can do a faculty and staff directory, type in, you know, anyone's name. I'll type in mine. You can look up anyone. Their course syllabus are required to be on here. There might be a little bit of information. So that's just one way. Oops. Okay. And of course, the ways that you can meet with them: through email, you can talk with them. You can call them. You can do a face-to-face appointment, virtual appointments, online classes. That's the most common way that we're meeting with you guys. And when you have an appointment, super important that you prep, okay? That you kind of have a game plan in going into it. If you're questioning whether or not you should email or reach out or meet with a professor, go, just do it. It's never going to be a bad idea. It can't hurt anything. It can only help you. Be cognizant if your instructors want you to drop in, maybe they want an appointment, and be specific about what material you want to discuss. Maybe you need clarification on a paper that's due. Maybe you just want some feedback. But just make sure you have a game plan going in. And if you have questions about your grades, that is okay to ask questions about things. We make mistakes, you know, computers do things. Go in, ask. We're happy to answer your questions or clarify something. And if you have graded papers that haven't been input, let us know. We definitely want to know about it. Okay, so if you're contacting a counselor, which again I mentioned, I highly recommend that you do at least once a semester. Maybe you need help with choosing a major. Maybe you need, you know, just some success tool strategies. Maybe you're not even sure what you should be taking, but you know you want to be here and work towards an educational goal of some sort. Maybe you have your ed plan, which is what I'm going to talk about. So, you know, have in mind or have maybe a general idea of what your educational goal is. Are you going towards a degree, a certificate, you want to transfer? Make sure that the courses that you're selecting are relative and, you know, they're what you need. Where do you want to transfer? Think about things like that. If you've taken any coursework, any courses at any other institutions, colleges, whether 2-year, 4-year, trade school, tech school, bring them in. It's super important that we have access to that. And also, what else are we going to discuss? We're going to talk with you about how many units a semester you're going to be able to handle. And that's a wise, you know, we want to make a wise choice in considering your workload, time constraints, different things like that. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about student email and social media. I've talked about student email in other videos that I have. Again, just emphasizing that it is our primary source of communicating with you guys. I send out emails, you know, at least every few days, telling you guys something, giving you an update, asking, you know, something. Be sure you're checking your student email. I honestly would say check it once a day. I know that might sound excessive to some of you, but it's a really good idea. And remember, financial aid sends out their award letters and information that way, admissions and records, counseling, early alerts if we're concerned about your grades go out through email. And again, that's a primary form, especially in an online class, that instructors, how we're going to communicate with you. And you have to keep logging in to keep your email account active. You cannot just forward it to a personal email account. Financial aid, they have privacy settings in there embedded somehow to where that information will not get forwarded to a personal email account. So make sure that you are, you know, logging in. All right, social media. In today's world, employers and colleges are often looking at your social media profiles. I just went to a UC conference last week. for incoming freshmen and transfer students, and they are looking at those social media profiles. So it is now somewhat of an established factor in college admissions if they're considering something. If you are in, undesirable pictures or doing things that could be, questionable or offensive in some way, you may want to consider untagging yourself. Definitely curate and take a look at those online photo libraries. Just kind of, make sure that there's nothing that could get you in any sort of trouble or make the wrong impression, give someone the wrong impression that you aren't wanting to portray. And of course, avoiding questionable language, offensive language. Again, these people, they are looking, and you want yourself portrayed as you would want an employer or a college admissions advisor to, how you want to look. So, and always a good rule of thumb, if you aren't sure if you should post it, the best course is probably not to post it at all. If you're having to question it, you might want to consider not doing it. Okay, so I have a couple of emails here. When you're communicating, again, this holds true for employers. These are college examples, emails to students. So again, you want to make sure that your email handle, your email, a little wild one for sure. Oh, that's, probably not the best one. Remember, all capitals, that's shouting at someone. If you're emailing your professor, we're not sending a text here to your friend, so, and things over here, the IDK for I don't know. Again, the shouting language, that's, Another thing too is a lot of instructors, some have 4 or 5 classes, some have 40, 50 students in a class. So you want to make sure that you are signing your emails, that you are putting what course you're taking. Sometimes you maybe want to put the section number. That way they know who you are. Looking at this email, I would have no idea who sent this to me. So just something to keep in mind. Always sign your name and always put what class it's for. Email number 2. Go ahead and push pause, take a look at it and read it. And then I do want to discuss it. So this email is written very professionally. It's very polite. However, there is a huge ethical issue going on here. So I was in your class last semester. This student is asking for a grade bump. Okay, so he barely had he had a 1.99. He just assumed that it would automatically get bumped up to a 2.0. Not the case. He lost his position on the particular sports team that he was on, the rowing team. So again, he's asking this professor to do something unethical that could get both of them in trouble. Asking to do some extra work or an alternate assignment. And so there's several reasons that these aren't, it's not fair to other students that took this exact same class, that maybe received the exact same grade, and they're not being able to have this opportunity to, pull up their grade. So again, you have to pass your classes and earn the grade that you deserve. Be aware where you're at in your class in terms of your grade. If you're not sure you should be looking and know what your grades are each week. Super important that you're keeping up on that. That way there are not any surprises at the end of the semester. And even if you're super polite, that's great. But if you've caused difficulties in your academic, endeavors, that one's on you. And then I did put down here, college students signed in, well, now you can't see it, in all lowercase letters. That's another thing students are doing for some reason. They are signing everything in lowercase letters. They are filling out college applications using all lowercase levels. This is a huge red flag. This is a huge red flag. Definitely keep everything capitalized, keep it professional, and hopefully this is helpful, and let me know if you have any questions.